other parties besides the two main ones that you could have had conversations with. Have you tried to have these conversations?
I've been to 3 meetings with young...
3 out of 69?
No. Not all the parties who presented presidential candidates are actually running. That you should know. And they are not pretending about it. You know, a lot of them just, you know, they want to have it on their CV.
So who have you had meetings with?
You know, I've had meetings with Kingsley Moghalu, had with Durotoye, I've had with Kubese when he was running, I had with Oby, I had with...
what came out of them?
Well, we left the place unable to agree on who should be a consensus candidate.
Would you be willing to step down for any of them?
It's not about stepping down. It's about finding somebody who can carry my aspirations to the presidency. If I find that person, we have the conversation. Stepping down is the last thing that should be discussed.
So that was
what killed PACT. It was that they started discussing stepping down when they hadn't even found a candidate first. That they started discussing stepping down when they hadn't even found a candidate first.
So you didn't find any of these qualities in any of these people?
No, just look, you're talking about coalition now. You know, you are looking at coalition from a structural standpoint. You're not looking at it from a philosophical standpoint. That there's a coalition of Nigerians out there already who are coalescing under our party. And they are the same people that you find in coalitions that are structural. Even after you form a structural coalition, you still need the political parties to agree with the candidates. You still need members of, you know, each of the candidates that are surrendering their mandate or whatever you want to still agree with them. But when you already have a coalition of people who are desirous of change, who are revolutionarily minded, you are only having partnerships at that point. And that's what our party is about. When we started, I was looking for a political party that could allow me run as a president on their platform. It was difficult to find because they all had their own agenda. They all had their own agenda, which is different from what I wanted. And when we started our own party, we didn't have much difficulties in pushing forward. And within a short time, I mean the shortest time possible, our party became the most popular party in this country, new party. It was just about 5 months ago that AAC was
Why did you leave it too late, though? Do you think that's a good way to go about running for office?
There's never a late time. It's never too late to aspire for freedom. You know, it's never too late. You know, people plan revolutions in days, and they happen. We didn't leave it too late. We started at a time we feel is the best time to strike, and you are seeing the results.
Looking realistically,
people who have been around before us can't even compete with us.
Looking realistically, now, I want you to be honest with me. You look at the APC and the PDP.
Yes.
You've had conversations across the country. You see, you're on social media very active. You see the kind of conversations that go on there. Do you honestly think you stand a chance?
Absolutely. And absolutely know that I stand a chance. And we've seen it happen even with the debate they did yesterday. I was skimmed out of it, but since you mentioned social media, when the debate was done, I was trending on Twitter. So you find somebody who didn't debate trending, that tells you something. So all these things count for something because people are connecting with the social messaging that we have out there about the different kind of politics that we're challenging the status quo. And I've done debates with a lot of these candidates, and my message is different, and it was clear. It was laconic that this is what Sowore wants to do, and we're referring to some of them here about minimum wage, about security, about infrastructure, about how the country can change. What you need to challenge me on is if these things can be done. I've said it that it can be done, that we can have a minimum wage as a living wage, that we can double our infrastructure, that we can invest 3.6 billion naira in housing, and that we can have a mortgage system in which an average worker can take 2 million naira in mortgage, and with 100,000 they can pay 20,000 every month and be able to pay back their mortgage and actually build a house and also use that as a collateral. You know, nobody could fault that. Not even the economists who are younger could fault this when we had to debate it on TV or one-on-one. So we've discussed all of this and come to the conclusion that we have a different, solid message that can take this country to a different level. And I'm not talking about next level now, because that's a fraud. And I say that with due respect to whomever designed that, but the highest level. But we can choose to remain where we are, be afraid, be complacent, and be complicit in some ways, worsen our conditions, or decide that there is a way out and a different way out, and we have clearly stated what the way out is, out of poverty in this country, out of the oppressive system and the
He himself said that he doesn't know what happens around him. It's on record. His wife said he doesn't know what happens, that 1 or 2 or 3 people rule this country. And now he's contesting election. Now, who are we voting for? Those who manipulate the government, whose faces we don't know, or we are voting for General Buhari, who has told us on his own that he's been caged. I have never seen such a desperate group of people. Look at how they bastardized the president of this country by taking him round, and he was falling all over in all rallies. Why can't them allow the old man to rest just because they want to use him to get the power and shortchange Nigerians? Is that fair to him? Did you see what happened to him in Kogi? Did you see what happened to him in Kaduna?
Buhari ó ní àìlera lẹ́mìí lára àti lọ́kàn, ká bẹ́ẹ̀ kó wá fílẹ̀ kó lọ sinmi. Ó ti ṣe tó bó ṣe máa ṣe. Ká fẹ́ lòmíì, àwọn ẹlòmíì á pé mi bí mi léèrè pé ẹn tá a tún mú bọ̀ yìí nǹkan kí láàmú ní bá mú wá tí ò bá ṣe ohun tó dá ń pa democracy nù. The point is this: when you have an ineffective and incompetent government, we are all victims. And don't let anybody deceive you. Those of you who are in business, if there are no challenges, you don't need to come. And you come in because you know that there are challenges. And then giving us excuse that you have many challenges, that's why you haven't achieved result. And then you still want to go. first lesson I learned in my military training is never reinforce failure. What we have now is failure. Never you reinforce it. And don't let anybody deceive you. Those of you who are in business, your business will have been better today if we have a competent and effective and performing government. It will have been. As I said, giving excuse, we met many challenges.